Bangladesh is facing renewed turmoil following the death of youth leader and election candidate Sharif Osman Hadi, an incident that has sparked violent protests across multiple cities ahead of the country's February 2026 national elections. Demonstrations, arson, and vandalism were reported hours after Hadi succumbed to injuries from an assassination attempt last week, underscoring the growing political volatility in India's eastern neighbor. Who was Sharif Osman Hadi? Hadi was a spokesperson for Inqilab Mancha, a socio-cultural platform that emerged from Bangladesh's July 2024 uprising. He was also preparing to contest the upcoming general election as an independent candidate from Dhaka 8. According to ANI, Hadi was attacked last Friday while campaigning in Dhaka's Bajoynagar area, when a masked gunman riding pillion on a motorcycle opened fire at him as he traveled in a rickshaw. He suffered a gunshot wound to the head and was initially treated at a local hospital before being airlifted to Singapore. After remaining on life support for 6 days, Hadi died on December 18th, Reuters reported. He was regarded as a prominent figure in the 2024 uprising that led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who subsequently fled to India. He had been openly critical of New Delhi and of Hasina's Awami League, factors that shaped both his political profile and the public reaction following his death. Soon after the news broke, protests erupted in Dhaka and other cities, with demonstrators chanting slogans in Hadi's name and demanding swift justice. Several areas were placed under heightened security as police and paramilitary forces were deployed to contain the unrest. In a major escalation, offices of leading Bangladeshi newspapers, Prathamalo and the Daily Star, were vandalized and set on fire, while staff were still inside. Firefighters managed to control the blaze at the Daily Star building around 1:40 a.m., AFP reported, but rescue efforts were delayed after protesters blocked access roads, according to ANI. Both publications later suspended print and digital operations, BBC Bangla reported. The violence spread beyond the capital. The premises of cultural organization Chayanaut were torched, while in Rajshahi, protesters demolished an Awami League office using a bulldozer. Demonstrations also blocked highways in multiple districts. In the port city of Chittagong, protesters attacked the Indian Assistant High Commission and set fire to the residence of a former Awami League education minister. The ancestral home of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Bangladesh's founding president and Hasina's father, was reportedly vandalized again, following earlier attacks last year. Anti-India sentiment featured prominently in the protests. A Hindu garment worker was beaten to death by a mob in Bangladesh's Mymensingh district on Thursday night after being accused of blasphemy amid heightened unrest across the country, BBC Bangla reported. The victim, Deepu Chandra Das, was a tenant in the Dubalia Para area of Paluka Upazila. Police said locals alleged he made offensive remarks about Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, before attacking him around 9 p.m. Officials stated the mob lynched him, tied his body to a tree and set it ablaze. Police later recovered the body and sent it to Mymensingh Medical College Hospital for post-mortem examination. Authorities said legal action would follow once a formal complaint is filed. BD News also reported that demonstrators hurled stones and staged sit-ins outside Indian diplomatic facilities in Chattogram, shouting slogans against India, the Awami League, and Hasina. Similar protests had been held earlier in the week, with marchers demanding Hasina's return from India amid strained bilateral ties.
I am standing before you all at this moment to deliver a piece of news that is profoundly heartbreaking. Both, he is currently receiving medical care and treatment in Singapore.
A true participant of the July mass uprising, a fearless warrior.
Sharif Osman Hadi, the spokesperson for Inqilab Mancha, is no longer with us.
This young leader, Osman Hadi, invigorated by the spirit of revolution, stood as an unparalleled symbol of protest. Through his actions, he not only demonstrated defiance, but also left an extraordinary legacy of patriotism, patience, and unwavering resolve. Let me state clearly once again, Osman Hadi was an adversary of the defeated powers, an enemy of fascist terrorists. Their desperate attempt to silence his voice and instill fear among the revolutionaries was utterly and completely foiled. No one will ever be able to halt this nation's democratic progress through fear, terror, or bloodshed.
Bangladesh's chief advisor, Muhammad Yunus, addressed the nation late on Thursday, confirming Hadi's death and pledging swift action. Quoted by PTI, Yunus described Hadi as a fearless, frontline fighter of the July uprising and promised that those responsible would face justice, warning that no leniency will be shown. He urged citizens to remain calm and allow investigators to carry out their work. In response to the deteriorating security situation, India lodged a strong protest with Dhaka, summoning Bangladesh's envoy and calling for the protection of Indian missions, the Indian Foreign Ministry said. While India briefly resumed visa services in Dhaka, 2 other centers elsewhere in Bangladesh remain closed due to security concerns. As Bangladesh mourns Hadi with a declared day of state mourning, the scale of the unrest has raised fresh questions about stability, accountability, and the country's political trajectory in the run-up to next year's elections.